Hello guys, today I'm Rizwan Bhatti from Design Studio 7. Today I'm here to discuss about how to make an research paper image, HD image. Here you can see, without any further ado, let's get started. Here you can see I have a small image. I'm just only talking about how to make HD image. You can make your research paper images HD qualities and with much more clear view. Here you can see first step I want to take. I want to copy this image. Here you can see it on the cursor background image. I'm pressing Ctrl or Command J to copy it. Here you can see I have copied first layer. Now I want to make it bigger in size. Just go to image and go toward image size. You can also press Ctrl Alt or I for this. Here you can see we have different we have the size of the image. We want to make it HD. Just make a resolution 300. Here you can see 300 and go for smoother. If you want to make it much more clear, then preserve the details enlargement. You can select and reduce the noise into complete on 100%. Here you can see we have a bigger image, but much more. It is not much more clear. There are some areas which are much more sharpened and much more blurred that are not good for us. So we want to make it much more clear. So the first step I want to go, just copy it. Make a copy of this layer. Here you can see I can copy it by pressing Ctrl or Command J. You can see here I have made a new layer. I want to give this layer name with blur. Here you can see I have made the other image, the layer on the top, and I want to make it much more smoother, much more sharpened, with high quality. You can see I'm going with filter and going to noise. Here reduce noise. Select the reduce noise. I have different here you can see such kind of canvas. You can select the strength. Reduce noise strength into 10 and preserve the details. If you preserve the details, then you will show here. It will be preview is available. Here you can see this is looking not good. So what we will do, we will reduce the preserved details. Here you can see the difference. It is now looking so good if we make it 0%. Here you can press OK. Now you can see the results. I'm making this layer off and you can see this is so blur. And what we have done, we have made just reduce the noise. Just you can see this is much more clear view, but if we want to make it much more sharper, then go for filter and sharpen, where you select the smart sharpen tool and the radius will be as you want. Here you can see the preview. As you want to make it much more clear, you can make it. Here you select the Gaussian blur. Here are different options: lens blur, motion blur, but you have to select Gaussian blur and reduce the noise to 100% and the radius 0.0 and amount to 500%. Here you can see if we make it, then it is looking much more better now as the previous image. This is the first step I have told. If it is not working, this way is not working, then what you have to do, if this were you can do different kind of thing, but I want to tell you the technique which is much more easier and much more comfortable, as it is less time consuming. Here you can see the I have the real image and of the background, and I'm pressing Ctrl or Command J to copy this, and here you can see the views, different adjustment of layer. Here you can see you will select overlay, which kind, from where you want to go, just go for layers Then select the layers and go for the layers kinds. As you can see, layer kinds, and just go for overlay. This is looking much more sharpened. And you can select it here, the opacity of the layer. You can select it to your desired degree of opacity. You can select it, and here you can see it is much more clear with 63% and 40% fill. This is the way you can make your image a high quality image. If you can also, if you want to make it much more clear, then you will apply the blur filters, going to blur and smart Gaussian blur. You can select, and you can make it blur, a little bit blur, not more blur. You can make it little bit blur, and then you will apply the reduce noise effect. As you can see, I have already changed the preservation of details. You can select as you want, but it is much more clear, much more easier way. You can see here, and then also go for sharpening noise. Here you can see sharpen and smart sharpen, and then you will go for radius as you want, and the amount as I have set already. So I will go to where this one thing you must remember, that is the Gaussian blur. Here you have to select Gaussian blur, then hit OK, and it will be your image. As we have opacity 63, we want to make it much more clear view, so we will make it 100%, and we also made the fill to 100%. This is looking much more clear as you want. If you have much more images, much not more clear, then you can see such a way. If you have HD images, then you can also make them combine with different way. You can see I'm removing this layer and moving this layer. You can see this is not very clear view. That was friendly, and what we have made it to this one. Here you can see it is much more looking good. If you can try it, if you will not find much more results, good results, you can also contact me. Thanks for your convenience.